What's up, Bills Mafia? Let's talk about something important, the performance of our GM, Brandon Beane. After years of building a competitive roster and keeping the Bills in contention, Beane continues to lead the charge in shaping this team's future. He's been aggressive in the draft, calculated in free agency, and laser-focused on putting a championship-caliber team around Josh Allen. I want to hear from you. What do you think of his work so far? Did you like the draft picks? The signings? Do you think he's the one to finally bring that Lombardi trophy to Buffalo? If you believe Brandon Beane is the architect of our Super Bowl destiny, drop this in the comments. GM Bills, I believe. There's a storm brewing in Orchard Park, and it's not the lake effect snow we're used to seeing in December. No, this one's building inside Highmark Stadium, charged with high expectations, playoff urgency, and the fearless moves of a front office determined to end the drought once and for all. Bills fans, get ready. This offseason might just be the spark that ignites the run we've all been waiting for. You're not going to believe what just happened behind the scenes at One Bills Drive. In a move that has sparked a firestorm across western New York, Buffalo Bills GM Brandon Beane jumped on a call to WGR 550 after the 2025 NFL Draft and didn't hold back. This wasn't a carefully crafted press release or a cookie-cutter statement from a podium. This was raw, live, unfiltered emotion, and Bills Mafia, you're going to want to hear every word of it. So, let's start with the elephant in the room. The Bills didn't draft a wide receiver until pick 240. That's round 7. And that, of course, lit up the airwaves. The hosts over at WGR weren't pleased, and Beane wasn't having it. He literally called into the show to confront them, saying, "It sounds like 2018 all over with you guys. You guys were bleeping in 2018 about Josh Allen. You guys wanted Josh Rosen, and now you're bleeping that we don't have a receiver. I don't get it. Let that sink in." Beane just compared this year's WR discourse to the infamous 2018 draft drama, and he's not wrong. History might just be repeating itself in the way we second-guess this team's leadership. But Beane didn't stop there. He reminded everyone, loud and clear, that the Bills scored 30 points in 8 straight games last year without Stefon Diggs, without a so-called alpha wide receiver. "We just scored 30 points in a row for 8 straight games a year ago," he said. And he's right. Statistically, Buffalo had the league's highest scoring offense, even when factoring in postseason play. That includes outscoring the Super Bowl champs. So, how bad is this receiving core, really? Look at the numbers in context. In 2024, Buffalo's offense thrived without Stefon Diggs, and Beane believes the current group is better. Keon Coleman, last year's second-round pick, is expected to make a significant leap in year 2. Khalil Shaker, who just inked a $15 million per year deal, has emerged as Josh Allen's top option in the slot. Add Josh Palmer into the mix, signed this offseason at $12 million per year, and you've got a quietly rebuilt receiving unit. Palmer might not be a Pro Bowl mainstay, but Beane points out he's a better fit than Amari Cooper, with fresher legs and a full route tree. And he's just 25 years old. The narrative that Buffalo neglected the WR position? Beane isn't buying it, and maybe we shouldn't either. Now, some fans might say Beane came in a little hot, maybe even too hot. He did curse. He did push back hard on the media. But here's the thing. He owned it. He acknowledged that WGR hosts have a job to do and that they aren't NFL coaches or scouts. They're talking heads, and they speak for the fans. But Beane believes the fan base and the critics are missing the bigger picture. He said, "You can't have everything. You can't have Pro Bowl wide receivers, and a Pro Bowl offensive line, and a Pro Bowl quarterback, and 3 running backs. Sure, I'd love to play fantasy football, but at the end of the day, it's just not realistic." And that's where the crux of the issue lies. This isn't Madden. This is real football, real salary caps, real personnel decisions. And Beane's job is to build a team that wins, not just on paper, but on the field. The Bills GM said it himself, "Our job is to score points and win games." And last year, they did that better than anyone. So, what exactly is Beane betting on this year? Continuity, growth, and maybe a little something called underrated depth. Keon Coleman's development in year 2 is crucial. Shaker's dependability in the slot, check. Josh Palmer's crisp route running and ability to create separation, check. And don't forget tight ends Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. Kincaid, in particular, could become a difference maker if he stays healthy for a full season. This offense isn't lacking weapons. It's just shifting from a superstar-centric model to one that spreads the ball efficiently, a committee approach around Josh Allen. But here's the twist that might turn this story on its head: Elijah Moore. That's right, Buffalo might not be done. Former Browns receiver Elijah Moore was spotted in Orchard Park for a free agent visit, and Beane confirmed the team has been in touch with him multiple times leading up to the draft. According to Beane, the Bills put a pin in discussions until after they saw how the draft played out. Now that they didn't draft a receiver early, Moore is back on the radar. Let's talk about the fit. Moore just had his best season in Cleveland with 61 catches, and he's only 25. But let's be honest, his career has been stifled by poor quarterback play. He started with the Jets and Zach Wilson. Then, it was the Browns and their revolving door under center. He's never had a true opportunity. But what if his next quarterback is Josh Allen? That changes everything. Moore has quietly posted over 500 receiving yards in 3 of his 4 seasons, even with inconsistent usage. Sure, touchdowns haven't been there. He hasn't scored more than 2 in a season recently, but that could change quickly in Buffalo's offense. Being called to visit a very good one and emphasized that while nothing is imminent, the door is definitely open. And let's be real, this feels like the kind of move Bean pulls off quietly, only for Moore to show up at training camp and immediately carve out a role. Even better, the financials could work in Buffalo's favor. Moore's projected market value was around $4.5 million annually, but given that it's post-draft and money is tight league-wide, he could be had for less. Maybe even $3 million on a one-year prove-it deal. Low risk, high upside. So, where does that leave us, Bills Mafia? We've got a GM going on the offensive, defending his draft strategy and clapping back at the media. We've got a receiving group that's arguably better than it was with Diggs. And we've got a potential sneaky signing in Elijah Moore that could put this offense over the top. Bean isn't asking for blind faith. He's showing you the receipts. Scoring? Check. Development? Check. Depth? Check. If the defense holds up, this team is primed for a legitimate run. But now I want to hear from you. Was Brandon Bean right to call out the media? Is this wide receiver group better than people think? And should the Bills go ahead and sign Elijah Moore to complete the puzzle? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's get the conversation going. And as always, we've seen the heartbreaks. We've felt the weight of almost. But if there's one thing this team and this fan base have proven time and time again, it's resilience. And now it feels different. There's a sense that Brandon Bean isn't just tweaking the roster, he's redefining the identity of the Buffalo Bills. This draft, it wasn't just about filling holes. It was about vision, adding explosive playmakers, strengthening the trenches, and finding leaders who fit the culture we've built. You can see it in the way the board fell, the trades, the risks taken. Bean's not building for just another playoff run. He's aiming higher. He's building for legacy. And let's talk about free agency. While other teams were throwing money around, Bean was calculated, deliberate. Not every move made headlines, but the ones that matter, they'll be felt on Sundays. This isn't about short-term hype. It's about building a team that can go toe-to-toe with the best and come out on top. So, Bills Mafia, here's the question. Are we just watching another chapter of the same old story, or are we witnessing the beginning of something legendary? Let your voice be heard. The road to the Super Bowl runs through Orchard Park, and Brandon Bean is behind the wheel. Training camp is around the corner, and you can already feel the intensity building. This roster, it's deep, it's hungry, and it's got unfinished business. Josh Allen enters this season with a chip on his shoulder the size of Lake Erie. He's not here for MVP chatter or highlight reels. He's here